the hard part of this one is the GUI for the assignment, right? Well, calculation should not be hard, right? Now, if I let's make it simple, adding the buttons first, and make it level first, panel first. Panel, I'm going to name it score panel, right? Equals to new J panel. This needs to import. And the reason I want to do this because, like I said, when you on the frame, stick to the frame, enlarging is enlarged too. We don't like that. And also, we're going to create the button panel at the bottom to use for calculations. J button. That's one way to use the button. Alright, so let me pause here a little. J panel, right? This one. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, all this, instead of adding to the frame, where do I add to them? Score panel. Right, adding to the score panel now. Instead of adding to the frame, right? Alright, so after adding to the score panels, then I'm going to add the buttons. Where's my buttons? Right there. Where do I want to add the buttons? To the button panel, right? Button panel. After I add those two panels, then I add the panels to the frame, right? And I need to make sure, remember, if I add directly to the frame, I set the layout to the frame here. Where's the set layout? I need to set the layout to my score panel, right? Instead of the frame. And add the score panel. And add the button panel. Now, if I add like this, the layout's an issue again. We can use border layout. It is border layout already by default, but it's set to center, right? It's always go to center. Then I want the other one to go to the south. Border layout is just like north, center, south, east, and west. Let me run and show you. There you go. So I have to calculate. So this is my top panel. Let me set the colors to the panel, then you see. Score panel dot set BG background, and we go to color dot. That's for score panel. And for the button panel, dot set background and go to color dot. Alright, so let's run this. So that's two different colors, right? That's the panel. Alright, let's pause. Set out the labels for J label. do that? Fix. Because I didn't put event yet. I comment out, right? So we're gonna fix by the J label. We're not going to need it. We use them into add them here, right? Add the text, add the wage. Now we need a score from that. When I click add the J button, calculate, right? I need to add the actions, which we did here, right? This is where we add the actions for the button right there. So this section is about the button panel, right? And this section is about the score panel, which is on the top, right? And this is like bottom. And this is the one who made the top or bottom, the layout here, center to the top, south to the bottom, right? Now, make it visible, pack, right? We want to make an action. Now we need to make an action now, right, to calculate, correct? GUI is kindly complete unless you want more fancy. We can come back and teach you more than that. Add image, add the border, set the grids, gaps, things like that, right? Let's make the action perform that now. When I click on calculate, I want it to take all the scores, right, that the user entered. Then you need to pass into, you need to create a methods. That's why Simon here said you need to calculate, right? We use an array, right? Calculate average score, right? Methods, right? We need to create a method here. So that's the part that we need to do here. I'm going to delete the use array. All right, so you pretty much get half of this already about, right? Just another half now. Do UML, comments, Java doc, we know how to do that, right? From the previous assignments. Program has to function. We're using an array so far. Calculate wage, right? That is the last two parts. Alright, so you just need to create the methods and use step methods, right? So let's create a method name calculate score. Now this method you just need to have it returns double, right? The method return double, which is the score that you calculate, right? Now this is the logic that you want to put, how you want to, now let's say grades, or GPA, let's say grades, okay. Right. And like my program here, I happen to have the letter grade, right? I may use this to cal, like I can do the letter too, right? Calculate letter grade. And it's going to return there. Letter. And I mean, this piece should be easy for you already because we did that since assignment 1, 2, and 3. We do a lot of calculations, if else statements, right? And this one by default, no grades. Okay. Default n means no grades then. Grades, so we need to declare double grades, right? Alright, so this is where your logic gonna go here. The logic that we talked about on Excel, right? To calculate. You can actually, we have an array that you can pass in. That's come to your question, right? Can we return array, pass the whole array, right? We can pass it in here, and this is going to calculate for you. So that means we need to pass in what? What did you pass in? The string, right? Or remember when you do string, it has to convert to double. We need to calculate with a double, right? Double the score, right? And double the wage. And the reason I want to do double because I don't need to worry about conversion. This method only worry about calculate the score. That makes sense? And this guy also, he's only worried about you pass in double, you pass in the score, I will return the letter grade. When we separate the method, make the complexity of the program away, like just finish one by one, right? And normally you just want to do the logic and test that it works before you really combine them together like there. Now, on my action perform that this is a guy who's going to read when I hit the button, right? He's going to read in from where text field. This is a guy who's going to convert to double, right? So that means I need parsers, right? Double dot parse double, correct? Parse the string that you read in, right? And where do we get them from? From where? Your array, remember array here, right? After I parse, I need to parse to my array of scores. And I need to parse that back to the wage too, because we have to set, right, wages, an array of wage. Then I can pass this to array and put into my methods here. So let's review the code one more time, what we plan to do. The score GUI here actually handle the graphic user interface, right? Where you have all the labels, text fields, and buttons. So this is like Java doc is going to explain, right? Construct the graphics user interface, right? For score calculator. So that's this part, right? We're just done. We've seen it. Now, calculate the score is the part where we're going to do Java doc again, right? What do we do? What do we use this for? We said this is going to just that's why, you see, it's very important to have Java doc, right? Calculate grade average scores, right? So what's score? Now I want this to be an array, like you asked me. Then you have to declare as an array.